Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. So today I am introducing my part of a collaboration. The collaboration is called Getting Creative with Junk Journal Ideas and Inspiration. And it's a collaboration that JJII from House of Mahalo has put together. It goes by the hashtag Getting Creative Collab. And we have already had weeks 1, 2, 3 and 4. So week 1, Justine from House of Mahalo, she gave us a project, and her prompt for the project was perfect patterns. That was absolutely fantastic, and a link to both Justine's and the rest of the collaborators will be in my description box below. If you haven't checked them out already, then please do so. Really, really inspiring. Week 2, we had Carol Ann from Cadge Crafts, and Carol Ann's prompt was something recycled, and that was really, really interesting. I got lots and lots of fun following that one, trying out some of the different ideas that Carol Ann brought. Week 3, Tammy from Tammy Van Antwerp, and Tammy's prompt was lush layers, and they were lush layers. Week 4, Janet from the Journal Keeper brought us terrific textures. Honestly, these 4 ladies have just really gone over and above and really inspiring. As I said, if you haven't watched the videos, pop over and have a look. Absolutely fantastic. My week is week 5, and my prompt was a splash of colour. So the idea of the collaboration was we were given a prompt and we could interpret it in particular, any way we wanted to. The Junk Journal Ideas and Inspirations Facebook group, and Justina hosting this, and lots of our members have been involved and have joined along with us. So there's some great pictures and some great ideas on the Facebook group. If you haven't seen those yet, then again, I will link the details below. So my prompt, a splash of colour. Yeah, it was, there were so many different ideas I could have chosen to go with this, but I have chosen the following. So I'll take you on that journey with me. Okay, and now for a splash of colour, we hope. So I have got some alcohol inks, some alcohol, some blending solution, and some alloy in statue. Okay, last time I did this wasn't great, so let's see how we get on. So I'm going to start with adding a little bit of alcohol to the paper. Now this is specific paper for alcohol inks, so it's supposed to do the job really well. So I'm gonna just start like this, and then we can always add some more if we want to. Okay, and what I'm doing at the moment is literally just using an air thingamybobby, and the reason for that is because if you use a straw, then the overall kind of motion of when you breathe out, you also suck in. And then what you end up with is inhaling some of the alcohol, which isn't great. So that is why I'm using one of these and why I would recommend it. Absolutely, I do love the effect. But as I said, it's all still so new at the moment, so I'm just gonna kind of see how I can get on. Now at the moment I've just used one colour, and it does dry very, very, very quickly. To reactivate it, you just literally need to add some more alcohol, and you will reactivate. So now you can carry on with this to your heart's content. I mean, there's quite a thick piece there. You can blow that out and in, and I suppose you've got more control over this with a straw, but I literally wouldn't advise it. And the other thing I would say is make sure you are using this in a well ventilated area. And don't be afraid to play with the patterns and the colours and the inks. At the moment it's looking like a real splodge of mess, but like I said, you just carry on using alcohol to kind of thin it until you get the effect that you want. And the more alcohol you use, the thinner the colour, and in the end you actually look like you're working with completely different colours. Okay. This paper, I think it's called UPO paper or something, but I'll link it below. And it is alcohol, paper for alcohol inks. And it's really, really lovely because it doesn't absorb the ink. If you see on the back, literally it just doesn't absorb it at all. You can see there, just by adding more alcohol, the colour dilutes even more and you end up with pinks. And as I said, you can just carry on going. So some of the areas where I added too much ink to start with, you can literally just keep going and soften it. There we go. See those colours diluting even more? Absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure if you kind of practice the technique, then you can kind of make excuse me, the papers, the colours and the ink kind of go where you want it to on the paper. So I want a couple more bits of lighter pinky colour on the other end. And possibly some more over here. Okay, now I'm going to try and add a little bit of the blue. Now I'm hoping this is dry enough because it does dry very, very quickly. But I'm just going to give it another gentle moistening just to make sure that it is dried even. And I'm just going to put a splodge of blue, just 3 little dots of blue with some alcohol ink. And the only thing with this thingamabob, this pump, is it's lovely because you're avoiding inhaling all of those fumes, but oh gosh, it doesn't half make your hands cramp. Now there's some amazing videos out there with people using this stuff, and oh gosh, their end results are just absolutely beautiful. So I'm sure that with practice you can really get this to look quite special. I've only got a couple of colours in this at the moment. I have ordered more, but still waiting for those to arrive. So I'm just making do with what I have. And the alcohol is still reactivating the pinky colour. It's Wild Plum is the one underneath, and the top one is, I think, Aquamarine. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shake my alloy because it does need to be activated. Excuse me, and you really don't need much of this at all, but I'm going to do a drop there and a drop there, and that is probably plenty for this size. I'm also going to add some blending solution because I want that to mix. I'm going to put, excuse me, a little bit more blending solution on top of this one here because it's quite, and that one there. And I'm also going to put another drop of alcohol on top of both as well. And then all you're going to do is literally disperse it as you like. Okay. So there we have, I don't know how much you can see, but there we have our pop of colour. And you literally can just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I don't know, like I said, how much of that you can see, but that is our pop of colour. Now, before I finish, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray a little bit more alcohol, just a little spray. And if you see already, it gives you that textured look. Okay. And as that is drying, and it's still got a little bit of drying to do in the centre, but it does dry so quickly. Yeah, that is our pop of colour. Just drying it off now. Absolutely love these alloys. You don't have to worry about all of this around the edge being messy, because what I'm going to be doing is I am literally going to be cutting out some shapes using this as my background. So yeah, we will see what they look like. I'm hoping they're going to look pretty awesome, but we will see. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we have used the die cutting machine to cut out some butterflies for our makes, and these are the butterflies. Not sure what die kit they come with, but it's yeah, quite pretty. They do take a lot of playing around to get the extra bits and pieces out of, but that's all okay. So these, you can see, have the colours that we used for the alcohol inks, and I'm hoping you will still be able to see the gold specks in that colour. Each one is different, obviously, because you can't ever get the same look when you use alcohol inks, which is quite a nifty thing, really. But yeah, each butterfly is slightly different. So I'm just going to speed this up now so you don't have to watch all of this. Okay, so we've got 3 butterflies, and they're all completely different. And you can just see that gold glisten slightly. So I've also printed, or I've also die cut these pieces of flower. Now these really show off the colour, really lovely. So I'm going to make 2 separate things, I think. Excuse me, I am going to need a brad for these. I think I'm going to go with a, excuse me, an antique type. So, oh, that one first. This paper, it's more like a plastic than a paper, which is really odd. But yeah, it's really, really lovely. It's really nice and thick, but you might want to kind of consider what project you're going to use it for. So anyway, there we go. I am going to push this down now just so they stay in place. So we have got a flower and we've got 3 little butterflies. Now, those of you who know me know that these are not my colours at all. But the whole point of this kind of challenge is to step out of your comfort zone. Yeah, and this is definitely doing that for me. Okay, so I have got 2 pieces of craft card. I think it's about something like about 260 GSM. Could be a little bit more, to be honest. Could be a little bit more, but that's what I'm using. And I'm going to make 2 different types of tags stroke journaling cards, I suppose. So I'm going to have one there and one there. Okay, I want to add a little bit of music paper to these, just for a little bit of added interest, I think. Okay. I don't really know where I'm going with it, so we'll just go with the flow. So I'm just going to ink these a little bit. This is definitely more my style. Brown, earthy, grungy. So yeah, you might wonder how I am going to kind of pull all this together. And I'm still wondering that myself at the moment. So yeah, okay. So I'm just going to glue these 2 pieces here. Like so. Okay. Do the same with this one here. Like so. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to just put a little bit of stamping on these. I'm going to use some Stays On Timber Brown. Seems to be the favourite with crafters. So I'm just going to use a bit of this. And then I'm also going to use a little bit of the Distress ink, just slightly lighter colour, just to add a little bit more dimension. Okay, happy with that. I am going to use a whale tail for this one here. I don't know where they are at the moment, so that's really clever because I'm still trying to find things where I had a good sort out and a good reorganisation and move around. So they could be anywhere, to be honest. They seriously could be anywhere. So let's have a quick look. Okay, so I haven't found my main stash, but I did find a odd one. So we'll go with that. Okay. Excuse me. So we've got two separate ones here. This is going to go on there like so. So I'm going to just stick that on now. And then I am going to quickly stitch around the edges on both of these. Okay, be right back. Okay, so just a little bit of stitching around the edge on these. I think no, ignore me. So I have printed off some specimen labels. These are from, I'm not sure if is it the Graphics Fairy or a Graphics Fairy, but either way they're from the Graphics Fairy. And these are really nice because they're a nice size, and you can also write on them yourself. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one, I'm just wondering whether I'm going to add any of this first. Oh, decisions, eh? Okay, perhaps not. Although it does look nice around the edges. It's just gold gilding, and it does look very nice around the edges, but I always seem to get it, always seems to end up in a mess when I try and work with it. I'm just going to put a hole in that one there, and I'm going to put a eyelet in. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to place these along the card like so. But I want to make sure that my butterflies fit on there, and I don't think I'm going to fit more than 2 on there because of the size of the card. Yeah, I think I'm only going to get away with 2, which is okay. We tried for 3, but we will live with 2. So I don't need to go quite to the bottom now on that one. And then we will do this one here. So that is going to be there like that. So perhaps if we have this one, that might be... Okay, so sorry, I don't know where we were, but that is going to pop on there like so. Now with these, because it's like a plastic, I'm going to use some, what do you call it, is it cologne? I don't really like this stuff, mind in fairness, but only because it just pours out and I never seem to be able to control it. And that was a ridiculously small piece of card. You can actually see where it's reacting with the inks, the alcohol inks. So it obviously doesn't like those very much. So I'm going to pop that on there like so. I'm going to get a better piece of paper. See, this stuff just sticks to my hands. I don't seem to have any control over it whatsoever. So yeah, it's not my favourite, but I had a bit of an incident with my Fabri-Tac, and I've kind of wasted a whole bottle, so that wasn't great either. But hey ho, such is life. Okay, so I'm just going to let those dry for a moment. And with this one here, I am thinking of adding a, yeah, maybe. What I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to get some of that gilding, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of it around the edge, just to kind of break up that a little bit. Of course, all of these materials are so new to me that I never know how to use them, or even how to kind of look after the stuff I use with them. So this one here, I used this brush with this initially, and I kind of used a wet wipe to wipe the excess ink, and it kind of killed the brush a little bit. Well, it killed the brush full stop. I don't know whether there's any coming back from that, we'll see. I mean, it doesn't actually, the amount I'm putting on doesn't actually show very much, so I might put it on a bit thicker. And then I think it's more forgiving of mistakes. So yeah, let's go with that. Anything that's more forgiving of mistakes is a winner in my book. And it notices more as well, doesn't it? This stuff is weird. I really, really don't know how to use it. Probably help if I read up on it, or watch some videos. Okay. actually, I'm also, I think, going to see what this looks like if I just add a little bit around the edges. Could just absolutely wreck this now, so let's hope not. Okay. And then all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to, if I can pick it up without getting it all over myself, just going to put that over there and give it a little bit of a dab to get any edges off. Okay, so it's quite nicely smudged that around the edges a bit more, which I like. So I'm gonna go with this, which was my first option. I've got much less room now to work since I've reorganised. I know that's probably the wrong way around, but I still lose things just as easily, which, yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. Okay, now we've got two options with this one. We can either go with our flower, or we can go with our butterfly. And I think, just going to have a look and see what that looks like. I think the butterfly actually looks much, yeah it does, without a shadow of a doubt. So we're going to go with the butterfly. Let me just take a little bit of this off without tearing it. Or not. And again, I'm just using this because it's such a strange kind of material to be working with. Okay. And I think I want to add something like a little sentiment. Just something to add a little bit of extra. I'm going to put that there. Maybe. We're going to have to leave it there now. Okie dokie. So, we have got two separate pieces. I'm going to put a little bit of this to maintain my grungy reputation, otherwise people will think I've gone all floral and pretty colours. Okay. Okay. Gotta stop saying okay. Right, so we have got a nice little grungy tag with a pop of colour. and I hope you can see the specks of gold in that as well. But really, yeah, pleased with how that came out. And then we've also got another tag, this one's slightly different, and again with a pop of colour. Some plums, some aquamarines, and some, there was a gilded, no it wasn't, it was statue, the alloy that was used to mix those. So absolutely fabulous challenge from JJII this month. Really did take me out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoyed it. So please take some time and watch the other collaborators. Their details will be in the video below. And yeah, just show them a little bit of love. But from me, that's probably the brightest colours you're going to get for a while. So yeah. Okay, so that is it. As I said, two bookmarks or journal cards. I can back these with tea dye paper, coffee dye paper if I want to. But yeah, a brilliant collaboration by JJII this month. Really, really enjoyed it. Completely took me out of my comfort zone, but that was, I think, half of the fun. Got me really messy, but again, half of the fun. I will link the other collaborators in the description box below. Please check them out and show them some support. But as for now, as always, take care of yourselves until we catch up again. Bye for now.